Yes, people, welcome back to another live stream on the channel. This is your match day 17 Premier League game week preview. And now I know it's not on a Thursday, but I decided to do it on the Thursday because I cannot to myself host tomorrow night as I am away with the family. So yeah, just a look. We're back. I think last stream was the game week 16 preview, but we are back previewing the games for this weekend. Obviously, the Christmas festival's coming up, so Premier League games are coming thick and fast. So yeah, let's get into it. We have some guests waiting in the back room. We should have one or two more maybe, hopefully joining. But if not, you're gonna have to go through like that. It's fine. So yeah, let's get through it. Talk about the games, and yeah, first guest is co-host himself, Manny. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, Horace. Pretty good. I'm looking forward to this earlier than expected preview, but obviously, we all understood why. And yeah, I mean, it's the last weekend before Christmas, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to have any games before Christmas. The next game, mercifully, will be on the 27th and not Boxing Day. I think there's all this talk about possibly having a winter break where, teams don't get to play, but that'll just lead to fixture congestion and pile-ups, at other points in the calendar. So, all we can do is just enjoy these fixtures. And I'd like to see the scheduling be a little bit more flexible so that the players can, enjoy an extra day of Christmas rather than having to train really intensively on Christmas Day when they really should be enjoying with their families. Of course, Boxing Day sports are a big tradition, but, sometimes traditions have to change for the betterment of the athletes and the betterment of the sport. But, we're still some way before Christmas, and we've got some Christmas crackers to deal with. And Saturday is going to be epic.
Yeah, 100%. And also joined by us. It's been a while. He's back. Massive Bristol Rovers fan. I'm only joking, but it is Harry. How you doing, Harry?
I'm good. I'm good. Good. Thank you, mate. Big up to you too. And of course, yeah, as Manny mentioned, the final game week before Christmas. So if I'm not on here before, if I'm not on here again before Christmas, then yeah, just want to wish you guys and everyone in the chat a Merry Christmas, and hope you have a good one. Been away for a few weeks. Main reason was watching Amsterdam, but yeah, great to be back, and excited to predict these upcoming games tonight.
Yeah, no, 100%. AFC always says Oris, Manny, Harry, big up to you. AFC always good to see you in the chat. And yeah, it's always great to see you. Got Josh saying Harry Minton's a blue, he loves Rovers. Yeah.
A little banter there from the Bolton Wanderers fan. And Harry, thanks for your wishes, mate, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. And to everyone who's joining in the chat tonight, Merry Christmas to you and your families as well.
100%. Yeah. Even for myself as the host. Hopefully you guys are all of you enjoying this festival and enjoy with family. This is what Christmas is about, enjoying with your families, with your loved ones. And yeah, if you're a football fan, then you should be delighted because games will be coming thick and fast. But speaking of that game, we do have a match this Saturday, the lunchtime kickoff. And it's, as Manny says, two hot and cold teams at St. James's Park. Who comes out on top? This is an interesting one because Chelsea, I think the description says it, hot and cold. They're both hot and cold, so I'm going to defend Newcastle a bit and actually predict them for a win, just because St. James's Park, I think Eddie Howe will want the boys to be rocking. Get the players rocking in. So, yeah. I know, obviously, it's not Newcastle coming back after. I know they won in their Carabao Cup, but obviously in the Premier League, they just lost in their derby, they lost against Sunderland. So, they're going to want a reaction. they're going to want some for the fans. So, yeah, I'm going to defend Newcastle, say 2-1 Newcastle win here. And, yeah, I think Chelsea, I don't know their record with Chelsea at St. James Park, but I don't think it's good. So hopefully if anyone in the chat, if any Chelsea fans or just anyone knows in the chat, but I think Newcastle got a good record, so I'm going to say a 2-1 Newcastle here. Manny, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, this is actually going to be quite interesting because obviously you talk about the home form of Newcastle and how it's always a daunting prospect, but they have suffered reverses to Liverpool and of course to Arsenal, and since then they've somehow managed to hold their own. But the thing about Newcastle is that they are not quite really as dominant this season, and of course once again they've had to deal with the added pressure of managing Europe, and also they're into the semi-finals of the League Cup, as we all know, after a breathtaking stoppage time win over Fulham. I think it was Lewis Miley who came in like a wrecking ball and pretty much wrecked Fulham's dream of going further in the competition. So, yeah, they're managing it, but in the Premiership, I just think they're still struggling a little bit. And even with the presence of Guimaraes and the likes of Joe Linton and a few others, they're just not as dominant as they used to be. And the loss of Dan Burn in their defence, I think he had a rib injury in the last game. I think, that's just another thing that's really that could end up hurting them. And of course, they're still without Ollie Pope, although Aaron Ramsdale has, ably deputised for the Magpies. Chelsea, they have been hot and cold, but they've gotten into a better run of form this season in recent times. They convincingly beat an Everton team who I expected would give Chelsea a better fight, but it wasn't to be. And I don't know if Chelsea are going to have too many people missing for the AFCON. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about Sunderland later. But I just think Chelsea will probably have the bit between their teeth, and I don't think they're going to lose. But this is a game where I can't really get off the fence. So, true to the given nickname that I've got, Desmond Bangadere, I'm going to go for a Desmond here because I just can't see, either team winning. But if any team were to win, it probably would be by a 2-1 scoreline. I just can't see it being Newcastle, I'm afraid. 2-1.
Fair enough. We've got Desmond there. Harry, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, you mentioned about Chelsea's record there, and I was looking at it before coming on here, and I believe they've lost their last 3 in a row away at St James Park. So yeah, it is obviously a very tough place for most teams to go in the league. But yeah, obviously if you look at form, it says it in the description, of course, both teams hot and cold this season, which leads me to predict a draw. I'm not going to go I'm not going to agree with Manny. I'm going to switch it up. I'm not going to go for Desmond. I've got a few Desmonds in there, but I'm going to save it here, and I'll go for 1-1 draw between Newcastle and Chelsea in the early kickoff.
Fair enough. Okay, so 2 draws, and I've gone with a Newcastle win. I mean, there's a hoping Newcastle can win because for my club, we need some points to get above Chelsea. But yeah, interesting. Obviously, as you guys mentioned, it's a lunchtime kickoff, and we've seen it before that in these games at 12:30, anything can happen. So, and even though I predicted Newcastle to win, it could be a draw. Could be Chelsea to go in there and win. So, yeah, I think AFC always he says I'm going for a Desmond too. So he's with Manny as well, which was interesting. Fair enough. Okay, Desmond. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see. But I'm hoping. I mean, Newcastle have to show a reaction against the Sunderland defeat. So let's see.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we do have a Sunderland fan in the chat. Hello to you, mate, and I'm sure you'll be very pleased with the Derby success, which was a real gut punch for the Magpies. It's going to be interesting to see how they recover from that.
Yeah, big up to the Sunderland fan. Good to see you in the chat. Always good to see you. Okay, moving on then. We've got cherries to stay in the burnt out clarets. So obviously we've got Bournemouth hosting against Burnley. Speaking about Bournemouth, what an interesting game they had against my club, eh?
Interesting doesn't begin to describe it, Horace. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to speak about Man United later, but Bournemouth coming over to Old Trafford, scoring 4 goals, fair play, Ariola, man, fair play. But yeah, this is the game where I think Bournemouth will win. They need to get some like form back. I know Ariola is for me. I rate Ariola. I think it's a quality manager, but I think if you look at the last results, they haven't been on like a winning streak, which they used to obviously before. So I think they need to pick up some streaks here. So I think Bournemouth will win here. Burnley, I'm not too convinced by them. I've watched their last few games. I'm not really convinced. Scott Parker's side, I mean, he does well in the Championship, and then obviously when it's the big tough league, I mean, he doesn't show anything, Scott Parker. So yeah, obviously I think Burnley need to. It's weird for me saying this, but they need to invest. I know they're not used to spending a lot of money, but it's clear to see that some of these players are not just they're not good enough to play in the league. So yeah, because obviously they do have my people say my boy, but because he's Albanian, Armando Broja, he hasn't produced anything for Burnley. So yeah, they do need some reinforcements in attack. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 Bournemouth win here. I'm going to go with a clean sheet. Even though Petrovic, he was looking a bit, I would say, a bit clumsy when he came to Old Trafford. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-0 Bournemouth win here. Manny, what do you think?
Actually, I think let's mix it up and ask Harry to give his prediction,
Yeah,
then I'll follow him.
Go on, Harry.
Oh yeah, I reckon obviously Burnley they're on a really tough run at the moment. They've lost their last 7 on the bounce in the Premier League. So yeah, as you say, their arrests we do start to get really concerned for Burnley. I mean, they're always going to be favourites, or one of the favourites at least to go straight back down. You know, when they invested too much in him this summer. You know, I mentioned Broja. Yeah, I don't particularly think he's up to standards really in the Premier League. You know, look at the other clubs he's been at. It was at Everton and Fulham, I believe it was. Other than firms, maybe Southampton as well. Not really hit the ground running. But yeah, Bournemouth have been a bit shaky recently. Obviously, you mentioned an incredible game at Old Trafford. You know, scoring goals, conceding a few, which I reckon they don't keep a clean sheet here, but I reckon they'll just have enough to get 3 points. So I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Bournemouth at home.
Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time discussing this. I just think that as bad as you know, Bournemouth's defending has been of late, Burnley's is far, far worse. I think Burnley also being without Kyle Walker, they've lost that leadership in the back four. And I think Craig has given his prediction of a 3-1 win, and I'm sticking with that. I think Bournemouth have got plenty of goals with them. Horace will agree. Whether it's Tavernier or Kluivert or Evan Nilsson or even that lad Krupi, you know, and of course we can't forget Semenyo. So yeah, Bournemouth to beat Burnley, and Burnley, I think sadly they look as though they're going to be another Luton Town. They're going to be cut adrift, and they will end up being relegated. Josh agrees with I think you, Horace, going for a clean sheet for Petrovic. Might be easy to keep. And we got a question here from AFC Always, who's asking us the best 4-4 in the history of the Premier League. Yeah, I've got to go with that 4-4 as well. Obviously, there's another 4-4, which you and I won't remember very fondly, Craig, and that was the result at St. James's Park, where we went 4-0 up against Alan Pardew's boys, only for them to claw their way back in the second half. That was just typical of the way we were playing in the latter years of, I mean, during that time, it was after the 2010 World Cup, I think. And, you know, that particular period was a forgettable period for us in every way possible. But Any of your favourite 4-4s from the Premier League? I mean, I remember a 4-4 between Everton and Liverpool, but that was in the FA Cup back in the day. So the Premier League 4-4. Boys, what say you?
Ooh, it's gotta be Bournemouth, man, because I can't. I think I wasn't old enough for my favourite 4-4s. Yeah, I'm saying United Bournemouth from the recent game. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I can't off the top of my head think of many 4-4s we've had in the league now. It doesn't seem to be. We don't seem to get necessarily high scoring games. We had that Man City Fulham 5-4 a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, I can only think of obviously the Newcastle Arsenal one. But yeah, just for it was just absolute drama in United vs Bournemouth. So yeah, that one probably just has it for me as well.
Yeah, definitely. Comments. AFC always says Manny. I remember that very well. Arsenal were 4-0 in 26 minutes against Newcastle. Yeah, exactly. Manny. AFC says Manny. Another one. Arsenal 4, Tottenham 4.
Oh yes, David Bentley coming back to mug us off. That was horrible.
Yeah. Josh is not Prem related, but Harry, how are you feeling for Middlesbrough at home?
Oh, it's going to be a tough game for Bristol City. We actually have a player on loan from Middlesbrough, player called Neto Borges, who's been doing really, really well. So it's going to be a shame that we can't use him for the game. But obviously, I don't know if you've been following, if you guys been following the Championship, recording with Middlesbrough, have had some really good form under a new manager, and they currently sit second in the league. So yeah. We have a decent record at home against Middlesbrough, but yeah, definitely going to be a tough game. So, yeah, to answer your question, Josh, I'd definitely take a point against a good Middlesbrough side. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, man. I see, and this man Metti's getting involved, Harry, mate. Yeah, this guy, I'm telling you, Premier League call up soon for him. Soon. It's just unfortunate that he's not being called up to the Albanian national team because I don't know what the manager's doing. I really don't know what the manager's doing, but yeah, he needs to get called up. But yeah, moving on. I think we've all given, if I'm correct, we have. Okay, moving on. We do have Seagulls to brighten up the afternoon against the depleted Mackhams. So obviously we've got Brighton hosting against Sunderland, which that's a interesting one for me to predict because Sunderland coming over from a brilliant. I'll say their form has been fantastic, man. Sunderland, like, see, beaten Newcastle, beaten Chelsea, I believe. No, beaten. I think they have. Did they beat Chelsea? I think they did. Yeah, and getting a draw against Liverpool. So Sunderland have been amazing, really. Obviously, everyone was thinking that they were going to go down before the season started, and you know what? That's what happens when you invest in players. So, yeah, but I think in this game, I think Sunderland will be a bit less power than Brighton. I think Brighton will be more on it. I think it's Brighton's time now to start picking up some wins. So I'm gonna go with a no, not 3. I'll say 2-1 Brighton. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Josh. 2-1 Brighton for me. I think both teams score, but I think Brighton will have the edge over in this game. Harry?
Yeah, this one's certainly going to be an intriguing game to watch. Sunderland, they've, of course, been coming off the high up there. Obviously, Derby Delight last weekend over Newcastle. However, their good form most of the season has come at the Stadium of Light. So we'll be interested to see how they do down on the South Coast this weekend. Obviously, Brighton are a bit patchy at the moment. A bit similar to Bournemouth. Like to score goals, but also a bit leaky at the back. Obviously, Had that crazy game against Villa where they went 2 goals up, ended up losing 4-3, which was very disappointing for them. So for this game, I'm actually going to go for a Desmond. I'm going to go, I'm going to say 2-2 draw between Brighton and Sunderland in this one, yeah.
Fair enough. Manny?
Yeah, well, the thing about Sunderland is that there's a reason why I said they're going to be depleted. I believe they're losing 6 players to the African Cup of Nations, which will be starting, of course, very soon. And some of those players, of course, have been pivotal in Sunderland's rise in the table, and they've really shocked me. But, the thing, we've all followed the Premiership long enough to know that more often than not, teams which start well, really well, just end up dropping a little bit and end up finishing in more of a mid-table position. And I do think that Sunderland will end up, being there just because aside from maybe Granit Xhaka, they just don't really have that much in terms of real Premiership experience. I think Bertrand Traore played for Aston Villa back in the day. Now he's, of course, with Sunderland, and he's obviously a big part of Burkina Faso's campaign in Morocco coming up later. And Josh has pretty much nailed it when he said that Sunderland really put a lot of energy and heart into the game against Newcastle too. Brighton should have the edge because they're playing at home, although, it hasn't always worked out for them at home. They should have enough for Sunderland, and I think Josh has predicted 2-1. You've gone for 2-1, Oris, and I'm also going for a 2-1 scoreline. But if there are anyone who would like to maybe join Harry in predicting a draw or even a different scoreline, please make yourselves known in the chat. And so, Voltamada does love the Black Cats. That was a very good header. He got it on target, just on the wrong side. But I think Sunderland will end up losing. Brighton should win this one. And it will be interesting to see after Christmas how Sunderland will continue to, perform, because I don't know if I can see them buying too many players in January either.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, AFC says Brighton 1-1. Fair enough. Okay, let's see. Let's see how that game goes, if Sunderland will be up for it. Moving over, we've got, can the Hammer striker blow to City's title pursuit? So City against West Ham. West Ham, I mean, it's a bit unfortunate where they are in the league table. I know it's only 16 games in, but I don't think they'll be relegated, but I think they'll just make it. I think they'll survive. But obviously, with Nuno in charge, they've got to reinvest in some of the players, man, because it's shocking. It's shocking to see where West Ham are. The club, obviously, they're doing a protest. I think fans are organize a big protest against the ownership, which I fully understand, because this is a very similar frustration to our one with our owners. But yeah, when you have owners that don't like to invest, then you're gonna get a right upset from the fan base. So City will be too strong for West Ham, so I'm gonna go 3-0 City for me. Manny, what about you? What do you think?
I'll make this very short and sweet. West Ham have no chance. I think City are now going to really start, revving things up and putting pressure on Arsenal. And I really just don't see West Ham getting anything out of this game. But City will have to be careful that they take their chances and play patiently. If they make the mistakes they did against Newcastle, they could drop points. I'm hopeful that West Ham can do us a favour, but I can't see it. No chance. 3-1 to City.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you, Manny. There, say 3-1 City. See, West Ham have looked like they could be improving, or they've looked better in recent games. But it's a tough test going away to Etihad. So it should be a comfortable win for Man City, and I'm going to go for 3-1.
Yeah, agreed. We've got some comments here. Josh has gone with a City 2-0 West Ham. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's agreed. AFC says 3-1 to Man City. Okay. And AFC says once Man City get in front of us, we ain't catching them. Yeah, I mean, Mikel Arteta's army, eh? What happened to that? But yeah, I mean, City and Arsenal looks like it's a two-horse race. And yeah, I believe it's only is it 4 points or 3 points? The difference
2 points.
received, so
2 points.
2 points.
2 points.
Yeah, 2 points. Yeah, so not that big. Not that big of a gap. So yeah, let's see what happens. Don't rule out Villa. Yeah, I mean, let's see what they do to my club this weekend. Josh, is tough for any team going there. Not many teams will come away with anything. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So we've all gone for the City win as expected. That's expected, but yeah, you never know. West Ham could do something, but I just don't think so. In my opinion, don't think they are strong enough to get a result. But let's see. But yeah, moving over to Bees distinct toothless wolves. I mean, look, toothless wolves. Obviously, we've seen what they tried to do at the Emirates last week. I don't think Manny would like to talk about that again, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one because Wolves are looking for a win. Rob Edwards is looking for a win. The fans are looking for the owners to leave, rightfully so. And yeah, it's a very bad situation for Wolves. But sorry, Wolves fans, any fans that are watching, but I think it's going to be another loss for your club. I'm going to go with 2-1 Brentford winning. In terms of quality side, I think Brentford will edge it, but yeah. All I'm saying is whatever points Wolves get, I'm sure it's going to be less than 11 points because I just really don't see them getting above 15 points in general. So yeah, I'm going to back Brentford to win this. A 2-1 Brentford win. Harry, what about you?
Yeah, this is kind of a big game, to be honest, because Brentford have been. Well, I've seen Mr. Beast's reviews on recent games, and he's starting to question the manager there, Keith Andrews, because Brentford have been getting some good results here and there, but yeah, quite inconsistent at the moment, and you would like to see Brentford, finish in a much stronger position and just above the bottom three. Yeah, yeah, they certainly have to go in and win this game against Wolves, who at the moment just quite simply look hopeless. Unfortunately, you said it there, Ras. I can't see them breaking the record points as well. I think they will get a new record for the lowest points. But yeah, I don't think it'll be an easy game for Brentford because yeah, they seem to be lacking confidence as well. But I'm backing them to just nick it 1-0 and keep a clean sheet away from home.
Fair enough. Manny, what says you?
I'm going to go for a Brentford win, 3-1. Nothing else more needs to be said. And I'll speak about Arsenal in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've all Brentford to win it. AFC says Wolves won't play the low block at home like they did at the Emirates. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Wolves have been playing low block most of the time, even at home. So, yeah, I think Wolves needs to be more attacking now. So let's see. Let's see what happens. AFC also says 2 on Brentford. It's the same predictions as mine. Fair enough. All right, then. That's predictions done for that game. Moving over. We've got a big one. Resurgent Reds to give Spurs more home discomforts. Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. This is massive for both teams because we know what happened last time. I believe it was 6-3 to Liverpool last time. So yeah, I mean, interesting game because Frank needs a win. Slot, they've been in a bit of form now. I'll give you that, but still wouldn't say Liverpool have been best overall. But yeah, I mean, Tottenham need to get a result back. I just don't. I think Liverpool will win here. Obviously, Hugo Ekitike, this guy's unbelievable. He's an unreal player, man. The way he just adjusts to the league, getting the goals in. That's what you need in a striker. So I think he's going to get some goals in. Ekitike. Still no contributions for Wirtz, so keep going, Wirtz. Keep going, throwing Wirtz. But yeah, I think Liverpool will be too much. I'm gonna say 3-1 Liverpool here. And then I say that, and then AFC's also gone that as well. So yeah, 3-1 Liverpool. AFC and me think alike. So yeah, Manny, what do you think?
This game, huh? I can't see much hope for Spurs against a resurgent Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, won't have Mohamed Salah. I think he's already gone to join his Egyptian teammates at the AFCON. And it will be interesting to see if Liverpool decide to recall Harvey Elliott as someone who can, come in and maybe provide another option if something seismic were to happen regarding Salah. He is, of course, currently on loan at Aston Villa. And at least when they played last season under Ange, Spurs scored 3. But even with Liverpool's poor defence, I can't see that happening. And I like Craig's prediction of a 3-1. I think that's your prediction too, Orest. I think I'd probably go for that. And if Vicario has another shocker, there'll be more calls to bin him too. 3-1 Liverpool.
Fair enough. Harry?
Yeah, it's maybe a surprise here, but I've actually gone for a draw in this game. Just feel like both sides are still, obviously Liverpool sort of coming back into form a little bit, but still a bit up and down both teams. Tottenham's home record obviously is quite worrying this season, so I could help Liverpool out, but I'll go for 1-1 draw here. I just feel like both sides cancel each other out with how inconsistent they're still being this season.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean, look, I think obviously the way that Tottenham played against Forest, I think that was a very embarrassing performance from Tottenham. I think I've seen a lot of their fan base, Tottenham, that I think majority of them want Thomas Frank to go. So it's a big game for both teams, but however, I think Frank will lose this match. So yeah, I am going to go with a Liverpool win here. 3-1. Okay, let me see the comments. Oh yeah, I think we already read it. So AFC says 3-1. Yeah, cool. All right, moving on. We've got 2 injury-depleted teams. Will the Gunners stay on target for the title? Everton versus Arsenal. Manny, take it away.
That performance we put in against Wolverhampton was the ugliest, most shameful display I've ever seen. I was never ashamed of being an Arsenal fan and of the Arsenal fan base more than that night. People still go on about conceding 30-odd shots against Watford under Emery. I see that and raise you 2 shots on targets, 2 own goals. The second one coming in stoppage time to win the game against the bottom of the table Wolves, who have only 2 points all season. As important as the 3 points are, no genuine Arsenal fan worth their salt can ever be happy with that. And the reason why I say we're depleted is because we're still without Gabriel Magalhaes, Christian Mosquera. We've now lost Ben White for another month or so. And the way Arteta's coaching his team, it won't be long before another one, bites the dust, as Freddie Mercury would say. Bow, bow, bow. Another one bites the dust. All that. Don't clip this up, please. And, we've also we're still struggling basically with trying to find out what our best 11 would be. There's still talk about whether Gyökeres is a good enough striker. He is a good striker. He's just being forced to play in a system which doesn't suit him. And, he's just having all his, joy and happiness taken away from him. And I'm glad that Craig agrees with me that performance was indeed embarrassing and pathetic. I only hope that we don't do anything similar against Everton at the Hill Dickinson. And Everton have had some bad reverses on their home turf against Tottenham and Newcastle. And I think they're going to be without a few players who've gone to the AFCON, and I don't think Grealish will be a part of Everton's team. He might be injured, although he did, do a charity thing with Everton Football Club where they went to a children's hospital in Liverpool. I'm hoping that we get a 2-1 win out of this, and it's not going to be, attractive. It's not going to be nice. It'll be messy. It'll be ugly. But at least we won't score any more own goals. That's the hope. Touch wood. 2-1 to Arsenal on Arteta's return to his old club. Moyes versus Arteta, always interesting. But Moyes also is a manager who knows how to get the better of us. And Craig will also remember that ugly 2-0 home defeat to West Ham. That also mucked up our title charge that season.
Yeah. Got coming here from X always says certain us fans have already had enough of Gyökeres. How come people have much higher standards when it comes to Gyökeres than they have for Arteta and Havertz, who haven't to him given time?
They're hypocrites, mate. They're hypocrites. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, look. Obviously, I've seen online. I've seen the rival fans taking the mick out of Gyökeres. Look, I get it for the banter, but I still think that Gyökeres will come in soon. I think the goals will come in soon.
I hope so. And for this sort of a game, the lineup I hope will probably be. There's not going to be any Ben White, so it will be Yuri and Timber coming back into his preferred position at right back. It'll be Raya in goal. We are depleted in defence to the point that we had to play Christian Norgard in the centre of the defence, I think, in one particular game, and Norgard didn't do too badly, and I think it might end up, being the same way. Norgard and Hinchapi in the centre of the defence with Calafiori at left back. I think if Miles Lewis-Skelly starts, it could be a problem, but he will come on and, try and do his bit against a tiring Everton team, just like he did against Wolves. It'll probably be, I think Rice is also starting to feel the heat. I hope he doesn't start, but again, he has to. And then if he gets subbed off, I worry about how we're going to deal with him. But it'll be Rice and Marino who enjoys these northern clashes. Sadly, I fear Odegaard will start, but if he doesn't start, if he gets rested for this one, I would love to see Eze back in the 10 where he belongs. Saka might possibly need. I mean, Saka will probably end up starting because Arteta doesn't see the potential in Madueke as of yet. I mean, he knows, but he just doesn't bother to use him. I don't know if Trossard will be available, so it could be Martinelli. And Gyökeres will probably start, but I think it'll be interesting to see if he is able to get any kind of service at all. Another reminder to like and subscribe. So that's my 11 for Saturday evening's game.
Yeah, I was going to mention before. Obviously, I read the comments. Man, you must have seen. I was watching Declan Rice. He is so knocked out. Like for the second goal, when I was watching celebrations, he could not stop like huffing and puffing, man, because he's fatigued, man. I can just tell. Rice he's exhausted, man. I feel for him. I feel for Declan Rice.
Yeah, the rice has turned into creamed rice or rice porridge or what have you. And Arteta has completely overcooked him. And that's the worry, Oris. I mean, if he ends up, breaking down, obviously, the Ghanaian captain is no longer with us. We have to play Norgard in that position, but we're so depleted. And that's really what makes me feel so unhappy. The only thing that gives me confidence is that Everton won't exactly be at full strength themselves. I think Gana Gay is a loose cannon, it goes without saying. But still, this is one game where if we slip up, this could prove fatal because I can't see City not getting a win against West Ham. I'm hoping that we get the win, but this is once again Arteta's poor man management coming to the fore. And then once again, if we don't get any wins in December, if we have a bad Christmas, not a problem, lads. Take a nice New Year's trip to Dubai, enjoy the sun, enjoy the sand, and come back refreshed and better than ever. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I've got some comments to read out. Let me just read. Mr. B says, big up, lads. We have to beat Wolves on Saturday. Can't be losing to the bottom team you have yet to win. Yep, I think you'll beat them. So, yeah, I would say be confident for that one. AFC always says, to get the best out of Go, Chris, Arteta got to change the system, but he won't do that. Arteta hasn't changed the system for 2 years. Yeah, I agree to that. Arteta sets us up like cowards versus Liverpool. Plays for a point. Loses Cardiff versus City. Nick a draw thanks to moments defence. Leeds versus Sunderland and Villa drop points. Same mistakes. Arteta is the problem. Yep. But the thing is, right, your fan base won't call out Arteta. They'll still say when phase 6, trust the process and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's the issue. Comment says, unlike Arsenal, we won't let Wolves score one of our goals. Exactly. Jonathan says, even lads, hope you're doing good. Merry Christmas to you all. Big up, Jonathan. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're getting better. And yeah, good to see you in the chat. Big up, my mate, Jonathan. Sorry, Harry's mate. Oh, mate, Jonathan. Yeah, mad legend.
John, it's good to see you.
Big up, Jonathan. AFC says, Arsenal team what beat Bruges was more than capable of being Wolves. Rice should never have started, never mind 90 minutes. Yep. Agreed. Desmond Manny says Mr. B. Yep.
Yeah, I think he says he's going for a Desmond. You do you, Steve. You do you.
Yeah. These injuries needs to be investigated for sure. Yeah. They do. They do. Mr. B says Palace 1-0 up at half time. Okay, nice one. Oh yeah, because European football, I forgot. Yeah.
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 But
nice.
Harry, you didn't give your prediction, did you?
No, he didn't.
No, I haven't said mine yet. I'll keep it short. I'll go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I feel like if you look at Everton's results against the big six this season, I think it's only one that they've won away at Old Trafford so far. So yeah, they don't particularly have a good record against big six. So yeah, 2-1 to the Gunners for me in this one.
Yeah. Mr. B says, big up Harry, come on the Robins, bro. Yep. Manny are wearing black armbands on Saturday because 20th December 2019, Arteta became manager of Arsenal. Yep. Fair enough. Interesting choice. AFC always. Yeah, I'm going to also go with a 2-1 Arsenal win here. I think Arsenal will win. I think the first 20 minutes, I think Everton will try. I think Everton will have their moments. But then I think Arsenal will capitalise and get the win. So yeah, Hardeep says Arteta in. Good to see you, Hardeep.
Yeah, good to see you, Hardeep, bro.
Love your sense of humour, Hardeep. Haji. Seriously.
AFC always says we ain't beaten Everton away. Interesting. But nah, I think Arsenal will be a bit too strong for Everton, in my opinion. They're going to miss a lot of players, like Manny said. They're going to miss due to AFCON. So yeah. Jonathan says if Arteta doesn't win trophies this season, he will be gone next summer. Fans will lose patience. Yeah.
It's been 6 years, Don. Soon to be 6 years. We haven't seen the fans losing patience as of yet. Oh, what can you do?
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. That's all our predictions done. Moving over to the next game. It is Fighting Whites to halt the Eagles in flight. So Leeds versus Crystal Palace. I mean, wow. Interesting game. I think I'm going to keep it short. This game sums up a draw for me. Because obviously Palace will be playing Leeds after their European football from tonight. So I think there will be a bit lack of short of fitness. So I'm going to go with 1-1 here. I'm going to go for a draw. Points shared for both teams, in my opinion. Harry, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I can see it being a draw here as well. Obviously the fixture congestion for Palace. I think Lazo came out and said that he's going to have one starting 11 for tonight's game and then a whole different 11. So you'd assume he would have put all his sort of first team players in for this game on at the weekend there. But obviously Leeds been getting some decent results recently. Calvert-Lewin has hit form recently as well. And yeah, at the moment it's obviously still early days, but Leeds are beginning to look like a team that could potentially stay at the season, which would be great. Great to see now. Hopefully the record stops of all three teams coming up and coming back down this season. But yeah, I'm going for Desmond here. Actually, I just feel like it could be a really entertaining game at Ellen Road. So yeah, I'll go 2-2.
2-2. Fair enough. Manny?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be on the fence over here because, Leeds have obviously had a wonderful upturn in recent form, beating Chelsea 3-1 and also securing that brilliant draw against Liverpool, and both of them with Ellen Road, and they are playing at Ellen Road. Crystal Palace, of course, are 1-0 up, but let's face it, some of the opposition in that Conference League is definitely not of the best, and this is a competition where I would expect Crystal Palace to, if not win, then definitely go very far in, given the talent that they have at their disposal. And of course, big news from Palace is that Oliver Glasner won't be renewing his deal, so he will be gone at the end of the season, and I'm sure a lot of big clubs will be eager to secure his signature. And Arsenal, this is your opportunity. Get rid of Arteta, bring Glasner to the club. He'll play Ebery Eze in his best position, and he'll get rid of all the negativity, the toxicity, and he'll just get the team playing brilliantly once again. I can't see anything other than a Desmond here, a 2-2. I think both teams obviously have their strikers in good form. It's wonderful to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting back to the form that made him so sought after. Former England under-20 World Cup winner, of course, and it was he who scored the winning goal in that final. And injuries have not been good to him, but since leaving Merseyside to go to Yorkshire, he's found a new lease of life. But Palace, obviously, I think they still have Eddie Nketiah. Leeds' defence may not necessarily be in trouble, but he can be a useful player. They also might have one or two players going for the AFCON, I think. That's why I can't really choose between either team here. I'm going for a draw. Has to be a Desmond.
Fair enough. I'm going to go through the comments because they're going freaking fast. AFC says Arsenal next fixtures are Everton, Palace, Brighton, Villa, Liverpool. Bloody hell! Wow. Okay, let's see what Arsenal do. That's a good games they've got coming up. Okay.
All games last season where we dropped points, mind you. All fixtures.
Ooh, could history repeat itself? You never know. Jonathan says, big up Mr. B. What else? Hardeep says, good evening, lads. Hope you guys are doing well during the festive period so far. Brilliant discussion. Let's keep it up. Big up to you, Hardeep. And big up, Hardeep. Hope you're doing well, Hardeep, as well during the festive period. Merry Christmas to you as well. Arteta bet win the Carabao Cup. That's the first trophy you can win. Yeah, obviously it's good for the team morale as well. Gives you a boost. So let's see if Arteta take this cup seriously. Holly says big up Jonathan and Steve. Yeah, our AFC's always says 2 trophies minimum this season, 0 excuses. Premier League and a cup, or Champions League and a cup. If Arteta doesn't deliver, he needs to be sacked. Yeah, let's see. Jonathan says, oh wow, that's big news about Glasner. I know we were linked to him, but Ruben is going nowhere. Hopefully, Jonathan, hopefully. Speaking about Ruben, I can talk about Ruben for the next game. Hang on a minute. There's more comments. Big up RD. Yep. And big up AFC. Yep. And big up Boris. Big up. Right. Okay then. Villa. We are hosting Aston Villa on Sunday evening, 4:30 kickoff UK time, and this game could go either way because Villa on an unbelievable streak. Emery is doing his thing, whereas United, I mean, what are we doing? We scored 4 goals at Old Trafford and we can't even win. What's going on? Usually when we get 4 goals at Old Trafford, we win. But yeah, Hardeep says he will be back soon. Yep. And Miss B says we should get Glasgow. I don't want Andrews shit. But yeah, listen, we are playing Aston Villa. Obviously we are without Mbeumo, Amad Diallo. And it's going to be interesting to see what Ruben Amorim does because obviously I think you guys have seen it. If not, then I'll just say it. But there's been words around the club that Amorim is willing to change his formation to 4-3-3 now. I'm not sure how it's going to work because now that Mbeumo and Amad are out, I don't know who your wingers are going to be now. So it's interesting. I think Mainu will be starting this game because we are without Customer. He is suspended. He got 1 match ban. So, yeah, I mean, look, our defence without the lit is really poor. It's really poor. Without the lit is a massive loss, massive difference for us. So, in terms of score predictions, I'm not sure because it depends on who's fit and who's available because we need the lit in this game. They've got Ollie Watkins who can really, really hurt us. So they've got Morgan Rogers. They've got Buendia who could cause some issues. They've got this player that I've mentioned to many about as well, John McGinn. He could absolutely bully us in that midfield. So we need some players back. But yeah, in terms of the attack, now that Mbam and Amadou will be out, I think you'll see Xerxes, Cunha, and Mount in that front three. I think, and then maybe you could see Bruno and Maiden together. Or I think Ugarte could start because of his defensive, because he is a bit of a defensive midfielder. But I don't know. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. But I'm gonna say we draw this game. I think United will turn up. I really do. So I'm gonna say 2-2. I'm gonna go Desmond 2-2. I think we draw. I want to win. We need a win, but yeah, I think we leak. I think we're going to leak some goals in. So I'm gonna say 2-2. In terms of about the Bournemouth game, Lamins should be doing better for the free kick, but again, I think there's not. I'm not gonna say he's young and this and that, but I'm gonna give him a bit of I'm gonna cut him off the slack because he saved us at the end as well with the save that he made. So yeah. So what about you, Manny?
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting, and I also want to say big up to Chad Williams and the Villa Forever podcast because he was actually doing a stream with a lady named Beth from the United stand. I think they were doing a preview for the game, and I was in the chat, obviously. Do please check out his channel. He's suffering from a dreadful disability, but still putting out some terrific content. Do please support his cause fighting against muscular dystrophy, and do check him out. Villa Forever podcast, Chad Williams. And so obviously Aston Villa have been subject to a lot of, people making some very catty, sort of almost jealous remarks saying, because the XG is so poor, they have no right to be anywhere near up at the top. And, they're going to fall and we're going to enjoy seeing them fall. And to those people, I say, wind your necks, seriously. These people, quite frankly, and I'm including a lot of Arsenal fans. I'm going there. I am going to include a lot of Arsenal fans here. They still despise Unai Emery. They still have no affection for Emi Martinez, and especially with Daniel Marlin being an ex-Arsenal youngster who was a teammate of Eddie Nketiah and Josh Da Silva, among others. Josh Da Silva, of course, Steve will know very well, being at Brentford. Arsenal just don't like Villa very much. And, Yes, the XG has been poor, but I always say it's not about the XG, but the actual Gs, the actual goals you score. And, you know, Morgan Rogers literally is a gun for hire. And he will definitely be in pole position to start for England in the World Cup, ahead of the likes of Jude Bellingham and several others in that number 10 position. And it will remain to be seen, you know, if Morgan can continue his form. It is a bit disconcerting that without the expected goals being scored, you know, the typical goal poachers goals, as one would say, Villa have been reduced to long-range shots. And, you know, you've also got to big up Matthew Cash. Cash has been right on the money on many occasions, including scoring against us, a shot which went right through David Raya's legs, better than Emi Martinez, my foot. But Villa have, you know, they've recovered brilliantly. They've restructured their entire game. They have a very solid defence, and Martinez is, of course, back in form, and he will definitely have points to prove, and he will hope to win 3 because, obviously, of the whole Manchester United issue. The only problem that Villa will have is that they still don't have quite the strength and depth they would like. If any injuries were to happen to the likes of Matthew Cash, Ezri Konsa, and you know, any of the anyone else, even Ollie Watkins, they could be in some form of trouble. And they're going to have to really spend wisely in January. Whether or not they cut their losses with Harvey Elliott will remain to be seen. And of course, you know, they've lost Tyrone Mings and Pau Torres. So the ex-Manchester United defender Victor Lindelof will be slotting in alongside Ezri Konsa. And Oris and Hardeep, you will know him very well. You know, he's not a world beater, but he definitely can do a job. And after a difficult start with Villa, he slotted in quite nicely. In midfield, normally I would prefer to see Onana and Tielemans over there so that Rodgers can play on the 10 and maybe someone like Marlon could play on the right with McGinn on the left and maybe Watkins up front. But Watkins is still struggling for goals despite scoring 2 against Brighton. So it will remain to be seen how the lineup, how Emery lines up. And he's also going to have to make sure that he wins the battle in midfield, because even without Casemiro, I think if you were to play someone like, as you say, Ugarte, Mainu, and a few others, you know, you could definitely have a fairly strong midfield. So I think you've already given your lineup, Horace. So speaking as someone who enjoys watching Aston Villa play, I'm expecting Emi Martinez to be fit because he had a bit of a back issue that ruled him out of the European game against Basel, I think it was, and also against West Ham, where, once again, thanks to Mr. Rodgers, it was a good day in his neighbourhood. He should be back fit, but Marco Bizzo is a decent understudy. Has a mistake in him, but definitely can make it up with a few good saves. Cash at right back, Ezri Konsa, Lindelof in the middle. And I know that in recent times, Emery has, you know, preferred to start with Ian Maatsen. But unless Maatsen improves his defensive abilities, I can see United's right wing taking advantage of him. It's just as well for Villa that Mbomo's not there, but it's still no cause for comfort. So I think he should play someone like Digne, maybe. But Maatsen can always come on later on as a substitute and, you know, cause some problems in the defence. And he can whip in a very good cross. He also knows how to cut right in. Or he could probably end up starting Maatsen because maybe he trusts Maatsen a little bit more. So it'll be Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Lindelof, and Maatsen. That'd be the back 5. He still enjoys watching Boubacar Kamara, and Boubacar Kamara is a very deceptively good midfielder who knows how to carry the ball well and win tackles. Onana is also a ball carrier, but he's also more of the physical presence. And not Andre Onana, thank goodness. This is Amadou Onana, who Villa signed from Everton. So in all likelihood, it'll be those two. That means that Yuri Tielemans will end up continuing in the 10, where he can, you know, pass quite well. Rodgers on the right and McGinn on the left, although they can switch. And it'll probably be Ollie Watkins once again to start up front because, as you say, he can do some damage. But if you bring on someone like Daniel Marlon, just like Bournemouth brought on Krupi, sorry to mention that, that could be a real problem. And, you know, obviously, Hardeep's saying that, you know, Man U's record against Aston Villa has been absolutely magnificent. You know, United have emerged victorious in 41 of those 59 top-flight clashes. And, of course, Aston Villa fans do not like Manchester United for many reasons, going all the way back to the early 90s. Emery is, of course, a better manager than Arteta. And Jonathan here saying that he's going for a 2-1 United win. And this will be a huge test psychologically for both sides. I'm going to go with you, Orest. I'm going to go for a Desmond, because I just think that when it comes to playing Manchester United, Aston Villa have this sort of some negative energy about them. But one thing which I will say is, if Aston Villa do beat Manchester United, and it gives them the confidence to beat Chelsea and, heaven forbid, get a good result against Arsenal, they are well in this title race. Make 1 or 2 smart signings in January, and you better watch out for them.
Yeah, exactly. I think Hardy did mention Victor Lindelof. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell, man. I'm just grateful that he's not playing for my club anymore. Yeah. Harry, what's your prediction for this game?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be quite a close game between Villa and Man United. See Villa on a pretty decent run at the moment, but United have looked pretty decent as well. So I'm going to sit on the fence on this one as well. I don't think it'd be as high scoring as Desmond, but so I'll go 1-1 in between Villa and Man United in this one.
Yeah.
And I like this comment from Jonathan where he says that Lamens has been a much better goalkeeper than Onana. I think it goes without saying. And I think it's also fair to say that life has given you lemons and you've made lemonade.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's made crucial saves, Lamens. That save at the end as well against Bournemouth kept us in. And yeah, I mean,
2, one from Brooks, one from Senesi, I think. I saw that.
Yeah, sorry, 2 saves, yeah. So he kept the Old Trafford record alive, which I don't know if you guys are aware of, but we've never lost. So this is the Premier League. In the Premier League, United have never lost whilst winning at half time at Old Trafford. So yeah, the record is still alive for now. So yeah, Jonathan says we've lost 1 Premier League game with him in goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Everton game. I remember Kiernan Dewsbury Hall with that showstopper.
Yeah, that's. Joe Smith says, I think Villa will beat us. Wow. Yeah, I mean, listen, Villa have got some games coming in thick and fast. So, look, I think what I saw stat right, if Villa beat United, that would be Villa's longest streak since early 90s, I believe. So, yeah, Emery's got a record to beat there. So, yeah, man. I'm not looking for me, right, is whoever scores first on Sunday. Whoever scores first will get the massive. Thing is, right, when United score first, we just never go for the second one. Like Sir Alex Ferguson always says to the players, once you get the first goal in, you have to get the second goal. You must. And I remember players came out in interviews, and when United had won games with 1-0 or 2-1, Sir Alex Ferguson was never happy with that. And I understand that, and I get 100%. So we just never seem to be able to get the second goal. So yeah, I just don't know. We just can't defend leads. We just can't go for the second goal. So I'm hoping that
Yeah, I was just saying, I mean, like, that's a very interesting analysis there. And I think Villa do have a similar problem under Unai Emery. They find it difficult to hold on to leads for many a reason. But, I mean, just this season, it just showed. I just think Aston Villa are playing without any fear. Emery's decided to say, you know what, after the start we've had, we just need to start going for it. And it paid off against Arsenal with the substitutions he made. And, they deservedly beat us. And we have to accept that we lost the better team that day.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Jonathan says, we broke Crystal Palace home record, so you never know. And I think, as Hardeep says, Villa have a record of 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss at home in the Premier League this season. That's fantastic. Obviously, yeah, attacks wins you games, defense wins you titles. So Alex Ferguson, yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. So I think we've pretty much covered the game. So let's see. It's going to be an interesting game on Sunday. We have to win.
There's one more, Orest.
What for the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm talking about United game. It very much covered the United game. So
Yeah,
yeah, we do have
absolutely.
one more. Winner takes all in the lower table 6-pointer. Interesting. Fulham versus Forest. That is, it's an interesting one because Forest are coming with a massive win against Tottenham 3-0. Sean Dyche is delighted. Yeah, you know what? I think Forest will win it. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to beat Fulham convincingly as well. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say 3-2 Forest. I think there'll be lots of goals in this one. I'm going 3-2 Forest. It's going to be neck and neck. So 3-2 Forest. 5 goals in your dramas ever. So yeah, I'm going to go with another win for Forest. I think they've been impressive on the Sean Dyche. So yeah, they got a massive win against Tottenham. I didn't expect them to beat Tottenham 3-0, but look, they've been impressive. They're on the form, so I'm gonna better to have a lemon and go than a banana. Yeah, exactly, Mr. B. So yeah, Palace are losing 2-1. Wow. Okay, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I am going to go 3-2 Forest here. Harry, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Forest have got it here as well. They've been on great form since the appointment of Sean Dyche, and obviously I don't have anything for or against really either team, but I'm not really particularly fond of Fulham. Not for any reason like what for any team have done when my team's come up against them just because I don't think they're really they've really done a lot really. Obviously since we came out, obviously it's good to sort of stabilise themselves as a mid-table club, but they've not had any really obviously they got to quarterfinals of this Carabao Cup this season, but they've not had any really good cup runs in recent times, or apart from the City game a couple of weeks ago, all their games have been very, very poor to watch. So I'm not thinking about Forest. I think they would probably win anyway, but don't really like Fulham too much. But I'll say 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. And for Fulham, I mean, they're kind of edging closer to that relegation. So they've got to watch out. I think in the next few years, especially, they could be, if they don't sort things out, they could be one of the ones to look nervously over a shoulder of going down. But I'll back for us to get all 3 points in this one.
Fair enough. Manny?
Yes, I get the last word. The reason why I say this is a lower table 6-pointer is because both teams obviously are a lot closer to the relegation zone than they'd like to be, although I have to give Forest some credit. Under Sean Dyche, they have, started to pull away, but still, there's still many a slip between the cup and the lip. And prior to that win over Tottenham, they did have some very poor results against Everton at the Docklands, and also losing 2-0 at home to Brighton. I think that was also desperately poor from them. Fulham as well. You'd think they'd be very strong at the Cottage, but they just haven't really been able to, get their act together. And I think that loss to Newcastle in the League Cup quarterfinals, I think it really took a lot out of them, it has to be said. And, this is the team. I also get why, people are predicting a Forest win, because Forest, of course, are going to be, having the bit between their teeth, and Fulham might just be a little bit, deflated in many ways. But there's something about Fulham, though, if you give them some sort of a chance. And Forest, as we know, still have about an ability to make some mistakes at the back. Dyche ball isn't as perfect as people would like to think it is when you're talking about a relegation dogfight. And he has, obviously when he was manager of Burnley, he was sacked before they got relegated that season, I remember. But I think I'm going to go with the flow here and go for a Forest win. And I think Steve said that it would be 2-1. I'm also going to go for Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with you, Horace. I think there will be goals in this, but Forest might have a little bit more in the tank. And I think even without Chris Wood, they're finding ways to score goals. It could be Callum Hudson-Odoi, it could be Morgan Gibbs-White, it could be anyone. And Fulham just look a little bit... they really do look deflated. And if they lose this game, then Marco Silva could be in trouble. And we could see a managerial replacement at Craven Cottage in January. Answer on a postcard as to who it might be.
Fair enough. Okay, got some comments here to read. Gardy has gone with a 3-1 Forest. Fair enough. Mr. B says dashboard to flatten Fulham. Yep. He's also gone with a 2-1 Forest win. And Mr. B says I hate Forest. He means he hates Fulham. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Well, I'm not surprised. West London teams. They don't like each other very much. Although he doesn't like Chelsea. None of us like Chelsea, so yeah.
Jonathan's gone with a 2-1 Forest. Yeah, I think I see a lot of Forest wins, which is not surprising because obviously I've also backed Forest to win this. So let's see. Let's see if Dash can keep up his form with Forest and they keep going. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think there's going to be I hope there will be some shocks in terms of score predictions and in terms of games, entertaining, because that's what we want as football fans. We want entertainment. So yeah. Let me check if I missed any comments. We're trying to sign a defender called Gabriel, not the Arsenal one. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, make sure to like, guys, already like if you haven't already. If you're new, I definitely saw some new people in the chat, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Would be greatly appreciated. Hardy's put in the comment says, for historical context, since both sides got promoted in 2022 to 2023, Fulham have won 5 of their 6 Premier League games against Forest. I mean, records are there to be broken, so let's see. Let's see if Fulham can continue. But yeah, Chelsea fan has given his prediction. He's gone with 2-1 Forest against Fulham. He's gone Arsenal with a 2-1 win against Everton. He's gone Bournemouth to beat Burnley 2-0. He's got Brighton to beat Sunderland 2-1. He's got Brentford to beat Wolves 2-0. And then Palace to beat Leeds 2-1. Interesting predictions. Okay. That's pretty much it then. Yeah. Check the banners, nothing there. Yeah, we've pretty much covered most of the games. Harry, Bristol City, what's your score prediction for your team?
Oh, do you know what? We do have a decent record against Middlesbrough, but I'm kind of nervous for this game. Yeah, they're doing really well, so we're sort of still got a few players yet to come back from injuries. So I think they might just nick it 2-1. They're a very good side and make it. You know, Edwards going to Wolves has actually backfired on himself really, because their new manager, Kim Hellberg, I think it is. He's came over from, I think, the Swedish league or somewhere in Europe. I'm not too sure, but he has got a good tune out of them. So if they keep this up, they could be favourites to get promoted this year alongside Coventry, who are also flying at the moment. But yeah, this is probably our toughest period of the season. We played Millwall, who are, I believe, 4th a couple of weeks ago. Then we had Leicester, Coventry away last weekend, which we narrowly lost, which was frustrating. But yeah, if we can get a win, that'll be absolutely huge. But yeah, I'm not expecting. Yeah, I'm expecting a very tough game. So yeah, I'll 2-1 Middlesbrough. I'm gonna go for. But yeah, thanks for having me on the stream. Been a good one, and yeah, hopefully some good games in Premier League this weekend as well.
Yeah, man, always fine. I mean, obviously, touching about Bristol, I think. Yeah, I mean, let's see, because it's a big game against Middlesbrough, so let's see. But as I did get on to you, Harry, do you want to let people know where they can find you on socials?
Oh yeah, sure. Again, I want to say a massive thank you for having me on to that stream.
No worries.
That was Horace and Manny. Of course, again, hope you guys have a good Christmas. Look after yourselves and enjoy it. Whatever you'll be doing. And same goes for you guys watching the chat. So have a great Christmas. And yeah, if you want to do check me out over on YouTube, on Ego, and do feel free to subscribe. I post a lot more now on TikTok at Harryminton20, where I just post a lot of football stuff, to do with football, and a lot of Bristol City stuff, of course, as well. But yeah, obviously subscribe to Arrest Talk Football if you want to see more of us. Hopefully I'll be back again soon. And but yeah, it's been great tonight. Thank you once again, and yeah, looking forward to these games this weekend. Should be some real Christmas crackers. Yeah, it's been a good one.
No, big up as always. Harry, always glad to have you on. And obviously, Manny, co-host, big up to you. Where can people find you on socials?
Well, on socials, with regard to YouTube, you can find me over here on Norris Talks Football, and I am sort of making my comeback on a few channels. I go on Northside LDN's streams every now and then. Big up as well to Jez Collins. Jez is Arsenal. He will be hosting a Christmas stream, I believe, and he's invited me to join the panel there. That should be a great deal of fun. I was, of course, on Hanno's channel filling in for a few minutes of the Cardiff City-Chelsea game, which, Chelsea did flatter to deceive, and I think Chelsea fan in the chat will agree. He was in the chat that day as well. As far as socials are concerned, it's just Manny Thangatherai 1981 on Instagram and Threads, Thangatherai 1981 on Twitter. And, yeah, I'm also hoping to possibly do come back over here so that we can do a pre-Christmas review of every single game, and maybe we can also start to take stock of where our respective teams are at this stage in the season. But more than that, it's just about, enjoying Christmas, enjoying time with your families. And as Harry said, this is the last preview stream I think we're doing before Christmas. So enjoy the season, enjoy the occasion with your families, stay warm and stay protected and stay happy. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. And we will see you all very soon, of course. And hope you also have a great new year, 2026. Should be a cracker.
Yeah, big up.
And as Steve said, if any of you would like to indulge in alcohol, if you are of legal age, drink responsibly.
Yeah, Harry, drink responsibly, mate.
Sure.
Yeah, big up everyone. Yeah. Listen, first thing I want to say is big up to everyone that's contributed to the channel. There's many. I'm going to name a few, but there's many that I'm probably going to miss out. But, you also Manny, Hardeep, obviously Harry, Mason, MK the Don, Mr. B, Chelsea fan, everyone, Jonathan, everyone, Hanno, everyone that's contributed to the channel. Big up to you guys. And yeah, listen, if it wasn't for you guys, there would have been no Oris Football, no, none of these comments, none of these people watching. So big up to you guys. And lots of credit goes to them because they put their hard work in and, give their say. So big up to everyone that's contributed. And yeah, obviously, Merry Christmas to everyone that's watching. Enjoy it wisely with your friends, loved ones. And yeah, be good to everyone, guys. None of this hate. I need to see anyone be good. Christmas is about having good energy and vibes. So yeah, anyone that does drink, please don't drink a lot. Take cautions. Take a very cautious about your drink. So yeah, don't go over the limit. Hardy. So yeah, but yeah, big up everyone. I think our next stream will actually be. I'll try and sort one before Christmas, but I think lots of people will be busy. But if not, then we wish you guys have a good Christmas with your families. Yeah. And Harley mentions don't do anything toxic, be good and inspire people. Exactly, yeah. Also, Mr. B does have his preview Wolves against Brentford at 10 p.m. Make sure you go check that. And Hardy did say keep your eyes for the next couple of months. Exactly, yeah. Hardy will be returning, which is great. So, listen, guys, it's been a great one. Let's see what the new year brings us. But for sure, I'm going to try my best to sort a stream out soon. So, yeah. But for now, big up Manny for joining. Harry, always good to see you as well. Everyone in the comments that's going to be tonight, big up. Your comments are worthy and very, very interactive. So big up to everyone. For now, take care, stay safe. We shall see you very, very soon, and hopefully a very good football this weekend. For now, peace, everyone.